All right. Hello and welcome everyone back to the Collective Minds podcast. Gonna talk about this fire for just a minute. Spokane fire. The reason for that is because the conspiracies are going insane today, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see everyone at least thinking. And it gets crazy. People the conspiracies get a little wild with everything, but it's nice to see everyone thinking. Not long ago, I was kind of complaining to the guys about how everyone had their own theory and it had to be that. I think people are starting to do the little bandwagoning. They see someone else's theory or thought process on a situation. They go, some dots are connecting here. Let's look at that. Let's dive in a little bit more. Subscribe to that. And that's what we're seeing. Mainstream media, obviously. Spokane, the fire up there. There's a couple of them. Man's been arrested for, says, sparking the Spokane wildfire. Says he went to prison for killing his father. It's very interesting. And yes, people do light fires. From what I've seen before that's came out is a lot of times big wildfires, Smokey the Bear here, it isn't from cigarettes. It isn't from your little fire pit. It's actually from the Forest Service. It's federal agents. They will actually start it. So a couple weeks ago, I was doing a live with the guys. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It's the last full, almost 2-hour live stream that we did. And I had told them this year is going to be a bad fire in the Pacific Northwest, the West, very West, Washington, Oregon, California. And I told them what I've learned about it, being over here on the West Side, is that a fire will start and nothing will happen. For some reason, it won't get put out. It's this weird gray area that I still don't understand about how there's like healthy burning. And then not long after that, all of a sudden, it'll explode with 0% containment. It's like watching a problem happen. And then all of a sudden there's hundreds of thousands of people homeless. Millions and millions of dollars of housing just gone. People's livelihoods destroyed. And then when that happens, I watch the Bureau of Land Management take those properties. And it always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm still pissed about the Lahaina fire in Hawaii, in Maui. Still pissed about it. Because I knew exactly what happened. It's a land grab. So this year, everyone's jumping on the boat that this is a land grab for the data centers. And they're starting to kind of prove a point. And I've seen comments, all sorts of comments. People are saying it's the smart meters. I love that. I love them. Bless their hearts. Can happen. Pretty sure has happened. Weaponized smart meters. But I don't think that's what's happening. But it's just nice to see people thinking. Nice to see people cracking open the old conspiracy book and connecting some dots here. A very interesting one that I have seen and I'm still thinking about. And these things are coming to me locally as well as online. And certain dots start getting connected for me. And that's when I find it really interesting. Interestingly enough to make an episode about, a podcast about, and to talk to people face to face as well as on the internet about. And that's with the internet companies. So I haven't dove too deep into this yet. But I know a few of the internet companies are doing giant upgrades right now. And in June, I had lost internet and power at least 4 times. I think the internet was 5 or 6 times. But the power was 4 times. And those go hand in hand. The other day there was a fire. It's been 3, maybe 4 weeks now. Think 3 weeks. A fire started not far from my house. It was something tiny. And it happened 1 day, 2 days after we had done that podcast. The fire then exploded, but it didn't explode in the first or second or third day. A week later, it turned into something to be worried about. It didn't just slowly grow and grow. It exploded out of nowhere in our faces. We're in the second round of evacuations, like you're about to go. And then the wind shifted. And it crossed miles to the south, surrounded a town, and now is all the way up the mountains. Interesting. I mean, fire does what fire does. But exactly what I said happened. And I'm not sure about it. I wasn't conspiracy minded about it when it happened. But then I heard from public officials down the grapevine, but this is what they were told, is that they were upgrading the internet services on the poles and on the towers, and they had just been doing it right before that fire had started. Let's jump a week and a half later. There's a fire inside of the city, not far from my house. Someone's truck had caught fire. That truck was towing a trailer. The trailer, like a camp trailer, it all burnt to the ground. Now, while that fire was burning, that truck and trailer to the ground, fire department was there, police was there, all the regular people you would expect to be there. Who was also there that you wouldn't expect to be there, up the pole, probably 40 feet away, maybe 50 feet, right there. Got a picture of it and everything. Was the internet provider. They had a guy up that pole. And I don't know what that is, what that means. You would think insurance would have to be looking around at everything. It'd be marked off. The guy was working on the internet. Very, very close. Uncomfortably close. While the truck and trailer was burning down. So that's a theory that people are putting out there, is that this could be internet related. I still subscribe to the energy weapons. That's what I believe. I believe it's just like Lahaina. I believe it's the energy weapons. And I do believe, I'm starting to think that it is connected to these data centers. So I want to show you guys this. Brockovich. This is the AI data center reporting map. This woman is making a big thing out of it. I mean, she's one of the only people that caught on and is starting to go, hey, this is a problem all over the entire country. So here you got operational, under construction, proposed, community reports, and then drought conditions. Let's hit that one. Oh yeah, look at that. Back up just a little bit. And then over here you have it's an app, have it on my phone. It's called Watch Duty. And this shows you the fires. It actually does really good compared to others. So, wanted to show you guys this. Let's see, Wenatchee. Let's jump over here. And yeah, unfortunately, for some reason, it's being very glitchy on my computer. On my phone, it works great. Where are we? So right here, if it'll zoom in a little bit quicker. The data center that they want to put in to Spokane, and this is one of the conspiracies as well, is that this is all about data center. It's always a land grab. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's going to be for, but it's you can only have so many coincidences. So out here, let's see, right out here, Airway Heights, Old Trails, the Old Trails fire right here. It's interesting looking fire as it is a straight line completely. But out here, this is called the West Plains. And this is where that data center wants to be put out. Or put in, I guess. West Plains, right outside of town. Somewhere out here. So the fire does match. It does match with that. Let's take the drought conditions off. Makes it a little difficult. So, there's a reported right around Spokane. And that's exactly where the fire is. Right in this area. I don't know exactly where. But somewhere in the area. So just one coincidence, right? Let's jump over. Let me show you this. Oh, I wish it was not as laggy as it is. Bear with me. So there's Washington. Something that hasn't been broadcast is that Oregon is actually the state that's taking the hit this year. And you'll notice if you go back, you'll see it's either Washington, Oregon, or California. Burns to the ground, pretty much. Rotating years, which is weird. I didn't know that the fire knew that. And it's not like this stuff just grows back and it burns again. No, it is cycled. It's always concerning and very interesting to me how there's always a major fire in one of these three states. And I mean huge. So the very center of Oregon, near Bend, Oregon, which is dotted right in the middle, has also been on fire. Huge fire. Alright, so there you got Bend, Oregon. I think it was the biggest fire in Oregon for the past couple of weeks. Huge fire. 307,000 acres. And it is just surrounded by other smaller fires. Let's see. We can get this one to work too. And these are reported. So I do know there's already smaller data centers there. Right here in Prineville, Oregon. But right up here, these are reports. Redmond, Madras. I'm wondering if they're thinking of adding more here. So I'm not sure. It's community reported. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't really tell you. It says, shows data submitted by concerned residents across the U.S. about AI data centers. Note that locations might be approximate, covering reported zip codes or nearby areas. Very interesting. You got a cluster here, out in the middle of Oregon, out technically in the middle of nowhere, where they already have a couple that have been there for, I believe, like 10 years now, maybe even longer, maybe 15 years now. But as you can see, let's do it again, right here. Redmond's right there. Redmond's right there. Approximate. What's going on with that? And it continues. And you'll see, like, around the major cities, there's not a whole lot going on. And they got a little one, High Lava, over in Portland. Look at that. It's just very interesting. I'll let you decide what you think it means. I wanted to make this video to show you these two tools that you can use, because it reminds me of the underground, I guess, railroads is what you would call it, or the mining, mineral and metal mining tunnels underneath the U.S. and that line up perfectly with the human trafficking map in the U.S. It's just weird. And some people, I mean, you could say, well, there's high populations in these areas. Kind of. I mean, that makes sense, except when there's high populations, that means it's a city. There's not much mountains. Just interesting how it's starting to get very close to these cities. Look at that. Nothing in Seattle. We're going. Right there, there is, though. Can't tell. There is a fire right around one of these is right over the spot where it's reported. Then you got Wenatchee. That one's above Wenatchee. Right there. Just something to think about if you want to get on and check that out. So it's Watch Duty and the Brockovich Data Center reporting. And it's getting real interesting. Right there. Southeast Washington. Where are we at? So that's right over the border into Oregon, it looks like. But yeah. I think people are onto something with this. And I think for the average person out there, if you want to look into this, this is where you would go. Look at this. It's almost figured correctly. Doot doot doot. Doot doot doot. I guess that's up a little higher. Yeah. So yeah, now about what it is. Definitely land grab if it's being weaponized. Now I'm not saying all these fires are on purpose, but it's starting to appear like some of them may be. And when that happens, you got to blame somebody. I mean, they're having so much trouble with the, like, Charlie Kirk shooting because of the crappy amount of evidence. This guy, they're just going to say, we found him with matches, maybe some gasoline, got him. So, man arrested for sparking Spokane wildfire, went to prison for killing his father. That's an easy guy to throw under the bus, if you ask me. But over to the patents, high-power microwave weapon systems. This is what I think it is, or something close to this. Says this invention generally relates to directed high-power electromagnetic weaponry used to damage, disable, or render inoperable by transmitting electromagnetic radiation from a safe but effective distance, which thereafter is coupled into a wide range of target types. Although examples herein comprise on the axis, Kiss-grain, antenna configurations, and applications, this submission applies to off-the-axis antennas as well. Advanced, non-conventional weaponry has been of increasing importance since Ronald Reagan called for an anti-missile defense system in 1983 and dubbed Star Wars. Among the potential components of the defense system were both space and Earth-based laser battle stations, which, by a combination of methods, would direct their killing beams toward moving Soviet targets. Critics pointed to the vast technological uncertainties of the system, in addition to its enormous cost. Although work has begun on the program, the technology proved to be too complex, and much of the research was canceled by later administrations. The idea of missile defense systems would resurface later as the National Missile Defense. A directed energy weapon, or DEW, emits focused or collective energy, transferring that energy to a target to damage it. In general, potential applications of DEW technology include anti-personnel weapon systems, potential missile defense systems, and the disabling of airplanes, drones, and electronic devices such as mobile phones. The energy can come in various forms. Electromagnetic radiation, so hear that, many various forms. including radio frequency, microwave lasers, and masers, particles with mass, in particle beam weapons, and sonic weapons. Ultra-wideband systems consisting of sources and antennas typically provide a radiated electromagnetic environment with a fairly flat spectral content over 1 to 2 decades. Such systems are finding many military and civilian applications, such as target identification, detection of buried targets such as leaky pipes, and humanitarian demining. Systems are also being considered for such applications as seeing through walls and providing transient energy to ultra-wideband antennas. Many high-power transient sources that employ oil or gas spark gap switches are designed and fabricated with coaxial or single-ended output geometry. So, this is interesting to read through if you guys want to find it. Just microwave weapons on Google. It's the patent. And it really scientifically breaks down that this thing can be used for almost infinite amount of ways to destroy many, many, many things. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Do you think there's something more to this? I don't think all the fires are weaponized or anything like that, but when you watch Canada year after year, and it's not even every year, but frequently, very frequently, just the fires are placed perfectly, and it's starting to look like, why are the fires ending up right next to cities that have moratoriums out and are putting a hold on allowing big tech to put in new data centers? Let me know what you think down in the comments. We'll check you on the next one.